Hello, welcome to Learning Chinese, Practical Writing and Speaking. Before we start, let me remind you of taking out your notebooks and sharpening your pencils. Later, we're going to write together. In our previous episodes of this season, we have written some very hot tourist attractions, popular local food, and customs in China. Today, we're going to get to know more practical writing and speaking about traveling in Chinese. Telling your desire for some place. In Chinese, the pattern often used is 我想去. Let's try to write 我想去 together. Before writing, two things I want to tell. Number one, you are always encouraged to mark the pronunciation of each Chinese character in your own way. Number two, don't worry a lot about the tones of the characters, because when you and your friends talk, there is always a context and focus between you. As long as you pronounce the characters right, your friends are not easy to misunderstand you, so don't worry a lot about the tones. Now let's write 我想去. Slide down, horizontal, cross, curve, hook, rise, cross, hook, cross again, a dot. It is 我. It means I or me. 想. Cross, slide down, a dot. Top down, a turn, hook, connect and connect, close, a dot, curve, hook, a dot, one more dot. It is 想. It means to want to or to have a desire to do something. 去, cross, cross again, and acute angle, a dot. 去 means to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere. I have a desire for somewhere. In Chinese is 我想去. Now, could you please read after me? 我想去. 我想去. Okay, let's make some sentences with this pattern. If you want to go to Guilin, what do you say in Chinese? It is 我想去桂林. If you have the desire to go to Chengdu, what do you say in Chinese? Okay, it is 我想去成都. So if you want to go to Suzhou, what do you say it in Chinese? I guess you got it right. It is 我想去苏州. Telling you have been to some place. In Chinese, the pattern often used is 我去过. Let's try to write 我去过 together. 我去过. 我. Okay. We have written. Okay. This character. Cross, hook, cross again, a dot, 去, cross, cross again, and acute angle, a dot, 过, cross, hook, a dot, one more dot, a turn, curve, and press down. So you have been to some place? Yes, in Chinese, 我去过. Could you please read after me? 我去过 我去过。Let's try to make some sentences with this pattern. If you want to tell you have been to 世外桃源, what would you say in Chinese? It is 我去过世外桃源. If you want to tell you have been to 乐山大佛, what would you say in Chinese? I guess you have got it right. It is 我去过乐山大佛. If you want to tell you have been to 星光大道, what would you say in Chinese? Okay, it is 我去过星光大道. Telling your desire for some food. In Chinese, the pattern often used is 我想吃. Let's try to write 我想吃 together. Okay, we have already known 我想吃. 口, the character 口 is put on the left, while on the right, slide down, straight out, turn, curve, hook. It is 吃, it means to eat. So I want to eat something. In Chinese is 我想吃. Now, could you please read after me? 我想吃。我想吃。Now let's make some sentences with this pattern. If you want to tell your desire for 火锅, what would you say in Chinese? It is 我想吃火锅. If you want to eat 冰糖葫芦, what would you say in Chinese? I guess you have got it right. It is 我想吃冰糖葫芦. If you want to eat 过桥米线, what would you say in Chinese? It is 我想吃过桥米线. Telling you have eaten something. The pattern often used in Chinese is 我吃过. Let's try to write 我吃过 together. Okay, 我吃 口 is on the left. 过 da, one more da, turn, curve, and press down. I have eaten something in Chinese is 我吃过. So do you still remember? Actually, we have written all the three characters before. Now, could you please read after me? 我吃过。我吃过. Now let's make some sentences with this pattern. If you want to tell you have eaten 甜皮鸭, what would you say in Chinese? It is 我吃过甜皮鸭. If you want to tell you have eaten 鲜花饼, what would you say in Chinese? I guess you have got it right. It is 我吃过鲜花饼. How about 鸡蛋仔? What would you say in Chinese? It is 我吃过鸡蛋仔. Telling your desire for taking part in some activities. In Chinese, the pattern often used is 我想参加. Let's try to write 我想参加 together.
Okay, 我想参加参 and acute angle, a dot, horizontal, cross, press down, slide down, slide down, slide down again. It is 参加, a turn, hook, cross. Single character is put on the right. It is 加. 参加 means to participate or to take part in. I want to take part in some activity. In Chinese is 我想参加.
Now, could you please read after me? 我想参加。我想参加。Now let's try to make a sentence with this pattern. If you have a desire for taking part in 火把节, what would you want to say in Chinese? It is 我想参加火把节. Telling you have joined some activity. In Chinese, the pattern often used is 我参加过. Let's try to write 我参加过 together.
Actually, we have already known these 4 characters. Let's now just write them one more time together. 我 okay 参 press down, slide down, slide down, then slide down again. 加 cross okay 过 dot turn curve and press down. So I have participated in some activity. In Chinese is 我参加过. So did you write them right?
Now, could you please read after me? 我参加过。我参加过. Let's try to make some sentences with this pattern. If you want to tell you have joined 泼水节, what would you say in Chinese? Okay, it is 我参加过泼水节. If you want to tell you have joined 打麻将, what would you say in Chinese? I guess you have got it right. It is 我参加过打麻将. Writing of a Chinese idiom. It is very interesting and a practical Chinese idiom. This idiom means you see the local sceneries, eat the local food, and do what the locals habitually do. In Chinese, it is 入乡随俗. Let's try to write 入乡随俗 together first.
Okay, 入 slide down, cross and press down. It is 入, it means to enter. 乡 and acute angle, one more acute angle, and slide down. It is 乡, it means a native place. 随 a turn, curve, top down, cross, top down, a turn, hook, connect, a dot, turn, curve, and press down. It is 随 means to follow. 数 slide down, top down, 2 dots, slide down, press down. Character code is put at the bottom. It is 数, it means customers.
Now, could you please read after me? 入乡随俗入乡随俗入乡随俗 Okay, let's take a look into the conclusion for the above part. The pattern of telling your desire for some place is 我想去. The pattern of telling your desire for some food is 我想吃. While the pattern of telling your desire for taking part in some activities, it is 我想参加. The pattern of telling you have been to somewhere is 我去过. The pattern of telling you have eaten some food is 我吃过. The pattern of telling you have taken part in some activities is 我参加过. Okay, I want to draw your special attention to two characters. The first character is 想. 想 often means you have the desire to do something. 我想去 means you have the desire to go somewhere. 我想吃 means you have the desire to eat something. While 我想参加 means you have the desire to participate in something. And the second character I want to draw your attention to is 过. 过 here means you have done something. So 我去过 means you have been to somewhere. 我吃过 means you have eaten something. While 我参加过 means you have participated in something. Here I want to draw your attention to 想 one more time. Do you still remember? In our previous episode, we have learned that part of the character tells the sound, and the other part tells the meaning. Is one of the features of many Chinese characters. Chinese characters with this feature account for 90% of all or more. Character 想 belongs to this 90%. 想 means to want. It is made up of two parts, the upper part and the lower part. The upper part itself is a single character. It sounds 相, it means mutually, while the lower part itself is a single character too. It sounds 心, it means mind. So the upper part actually tells the sound of the whole character, while the lower part is closely related to the meaning of the whole character, because it's your mind decides what you want to do. Okay, let's see some more examples with this feature. And the first example is 骑. It means to ride. It is made up of two parts, the left part and the right part. The left part itself is a single character. It sounds 马. It means a horse or horses, while the right part itself is a single character too. It sounds 奇. It means strange. So the right part tells the sound of the whole character, while the left part is actually closely related to the meaning of the whole character. because people ride on horses. Okay, let's look into the second example. It is 爸. 爸 means daddy. It is made up of two parts as well, the upper part and the lower part. The upper part is a single character. It sounds full. It means daddy, while the lower part is a single character too. It sounds 爸. It means be close to. So the lower part tells the sound of the whole character, while the upper part is the meaning of the whole character. Now let's take a look at the third example here. It is 闷. It means depressed. This character is also made up of two parts, the outer part and the inner part. The outer part is a single character too. It sounds 闷. It means a door or doors. While the inner part, do you still remember? It is also a part in character 想. Okay, it sounds 心. It means mind. Okay, so the outer part tells the sound of the whole character, while the inner part actually is closely related to the whole character in meaning, because when you are kept in the door, your mind is often depressed. Once again, two good things to tell. Number one, if you know part of a Chinese character, you know either the possible sound or the possible meaning. Number two, the more single characters you know, the easier you know more Chinese characters. Now let's end today's video with some lyrics. And could you please try to figure out where the singer wants to go to?
我想去桂林呀，我想去桂林，可是有了钱的时候，我却没时间。